Hey, good Saturday to everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Plate Exchange. I'm Steve with On the Ring Apron. My oldest son, Landon, running the camera today as the missus is at work. So everybody wish Kia a great day at work. Landon, you can say hey.
What's up?
But we're here to, celebrate yet another champion. We tried everything in our power to try to get his plates prior to our last episode 2 weeks ago. But they didn't quite come in time, but we've got them now. And as a result, that means the colossal Bronson Reed will now get his very own episode. Sorta, but it is what it is. Technically, there's always a 24/7 title change, it seems like. But before we get started, for anybody who's watching this and hasn't just heard the news, just came out earlier that on August the 18th, when did I get that right?
Yes, sir.
18th, at 8 o'clock from Las Vegas, SummerSlam, back in front of live crowd, from the Alliance Center out in Las Vegas. We like to call it the Roomba Dome. If you've ever actually seen the Google Maps picture of that stadium from the top, it looks like a giant Roomba. So I think they missed out on a golden opportunity at some advertising there. But it is what it is. But either way, SummerSlam, back in front of a live crowd and in one of the just greatest places that I think that you could have a WWE event, and that is in front of fans in Las Vegas, which honestly I feel like is going to host a WrestleMania here very soon. But, that's a couple of months from now. We're not quite there yet. A couple pay-per-views still to go. We still have Hell in a Cell here in a couple of weeks. Money in the Bank coming up. That's the first pay-per-view that'll be back in front of the live crowd again. And then, of course, now with the announcement of SummerSlam. So, a lot to look forward to. Fans getting ready to get back in the stands in just a hair over a month. So, I know we're excited. We're thrilled to be back. They've announced the full tour at this point, so hopefully WWE coming to a city near you. I expect absolute packed houses, loud events. It's going to be a little different because we've gotten used to that Thunderdome setting, but now we're going to have some fun with it. But it's Saturday. Everybody's busy, so anybody who took the time to join in, I do appreciate it. Let's get right to it. The last episode we did not acknowledge the 24/7 title changes. For those of you who don't join us on a regular basis, we do acknowledge all championship changes, even ones that don't have plates to switch. The current 24/7 champion is Akira Tozawa in his unofficially his 10th reign. WWE only gives him 9 reigns because they don't count the ones that happened on YouTube a couple of years ago as official changes. But he's in his 10th reign. He beat R-Truth, who I think ends like his 52nd reign as champion. And then the title's kind of just disappeared for a little while. So, taking another sabbatical for a little while. It'll reappear at some point. But right now, Akira Tozawa holding the 24/7 championship in WWE. And now that we've acknowledged that, all other champions were brought up to. We've got a lot of new champions, of course, from WrestleMania, such as Bianca Belair, Bobby Lashley retaining the WWE title. Of course, Karrion Kross and Raquel Gonzalez recently winning NXT championships. MSK, the new tag champs, they recently retained. And now we have a new North American champion winning his first championship since joining the main roster, at least the NXT roster, and that is the colossal Bronson Reed. We tried to see, as I said, to get his plates prior to the last plate exchange episode, but we're unable to do so. We do have them now. He surpasses or defeats Johnny Gargano in a steel cage match back on the May 18th episode of NXT. It was like his second or third attempt at the title, and finally able to get one over to finally put himself into the championship threshold. So, of course, with the news coming out of fans getting back into arenas. Of course, Kia and I are very curious to get the opinions of our audience out there. So anybody who's watching this, after the live feed, or even if anybody is in the live feed, first of all, have you had a chance to see the list to see if anybody is, if any of these live events are coming to your area? If they are you planning on going? If they're not, but, they're close by, are you planning on traveling? Are we excited about it, or do you feel it's, a little too soon? Is it not soon enough? So what are your thoughts on the matter in terms of where WWE is going? Of course, we know that AEW and some other events such as Impact have, started regularly putting fans back in the arenas again. They've been doing it for a little while now. So WWE, feeling like they're finally ready to get back on the road. Curious to see what they do with NXT. Typically, they've always, had NXT do their live tapings at like the Performance Center or now the Capitol Wrestling Center. But now it'll be curious to see what they're going to do now that the main roster is going on tour. And of course, also the news with a lot of releases in the last couple of weeks. A lot of surprises on that list if you haven't read some of them. Is it possibly time to set up for more NXT people to potentially make their way to the main roster? So, some food for thought. Comments down below. Comments in our comments section if you're not watching this live. But, of course, as we said, celebrating our new champion, the colossal Bronson Reed. His first championship here with NXT. And now his plates officially adorn our replica NXT North American Championship. So, the long reign of the Colossal One now begins in NXT. Hopefully he, supplants a very long reign, and it'll be curious to see where we go from here as we head on to our next NXT pay-per-view, which is In Your House, coming up here in a few weeks. Of course, they've already cemented the main event. Karrion Kross is going to have quite the battle in front of him. If you haven't seen the last NXT, go back and watch it so you can find out who's going to be his opponent or opponents. Spoiler alert. And, and see what you guys think. But, again, I said we'd keep this brief. Hopefully we did. Only the one title change for Bronson here to celebrate, along, of course, with Akira winning the 24/7. But, once again, this is Steve with On the Ring Aprons. This has been Plate Exchange. Keep an eye on us next week as we get ready for Hell in a Cell. Key will be back with us, and we'll have some fun. Anyway, have a good night. We'll see you later.